What's up, family? The first thing I want to say is salute to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Straight like that. And in this video, y'all, it's gonna be a new topic today, something I haven't really discussed it in a while. But you know, for someone that is, unaware of their power, or just say someone, doesn't have much energy in them, right, family? Well, then they are always looking up to something, so they have an idol, or they believe someone that they feel they can believe, which they might give you power just by doing that if they're unaware of, their true potential. So that's why I say, family, in this world, not saying that that's a bad thing, but you don't ever want to, put your faith in those ideologies, or if you want to say those so-called idols of yours forever, man, because true power is in self-belief, Self-belief is everything, and self-doubt is everything too, family. So that's why, I come at y'all in a video that's different, It's all about yourself, man, and how far you see yourself, Like, a lot of people want to be something, but do you really want to be what you want to be, And I'm talking about wholeheartedly fulfilling, like, fuck the glow. Do you have the balls? Do you have enough semen within your nuts to walk out knowing that people gonna look at you, and if they watch you or not, you gotta have that confidence, or that pit in you to stand on your belief and die for it, man. Not giving two fucks about how they feel, or even if they watch you and don't like you and they plotting on you. The best thing to do, family, is to be yourself, man, because it's not that they hate you, but they don't like how the information that they find that's fascinating is from someone like you. Because if they don't know who you are, well, you were always underestimated, And that's exactly what I wanted to talk about in this video, family, because it goes in hand in hand with self, man. A lot of people want to be something, but they want to show you instead of, actually doing the work, man. And I'm not gonna say I wasn't there before myself, man. I was there many times, You were a show off to be a motherfucker that had nothing to show off for, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I like to, my chain, family, I like to use this, or I like to wear this every single day, y'all, because of scientific reasons, you know what I'm saying? Metaphysical, not symbology, but if you want to say, just let's put it like an amplification for the cells in your body, or the avatar that you are in, because you ain't the body, but you are the consciousness, just like in the movie Avatar, y'all. You are the consciousness in the body. If you couldn't, function, well, you wouldn't be able to think or perceive things that are around you. So that's why I say, family, you're not the body, you're the consciousness. You don't have to believe me, but I'm gonna stand on this belief, and best believe I would take a gunshot or a sniper to the head, dying for this real shit, because it's not about the pain that I care about. No, it's the truth that I feel you need to hear, And it's better that way, because you want to be somebody, because self, like I said, y'all, self is self, man, and everybody is self. It's just not everybody is on that same self amplification to where they're trying to, amplify them. People are just happy being where they are. But we all get older, we all mature, and not on a level of true maturity, but to where we all just get tired, and we relax, or we just push it aside, you know what I'm saying? And you don't ever want to do that bullshit, because it's gonna catch up with you, and you don't want to let it catch up with you, family. You know what I'm saying? For example, y'all, if you have addictions that you can't crush, say you smoke, or just say you like to party, drink, or do all this, toxification to you. Well, that's because, either you chose to, or you feel like it's the only thing that suits you. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, family. You must break away from every cycle that is trying to hold on to you. Because if you ain't ready to detach from people, places, or things, which are nouns, which is none of your concern, to be honest. Because like I said, family, it's not that you don't want to control nobody, but you, let's just put it like this: when you step out into this world, right, people are gonna find you fascinating, man, or they're not gonna be able to look at you if you are standing, like the line you came down here to be. Let's just say you are, approaching anything that you are going to, y'all, and you are someone like myself, someone that has divinity. I have respect. I gain respect. But let alone this physique and this avatar you see in front of me is what makes you feel like I can trust everything he's saying because of how he looks. So, fascinating, man. I could probably take, most things in this world because of my simplicity, y'all. And that's what I love about myself, y'all, because I don't lack confidence. And I get what I need to get off my chest, man, because it will make me feel better. But the only thing that I do have a problem with, y'all, is if you don't want to be who you don't want to be, y'all, because you're going to hinder yourself in the end. And it's always going to eat you alive knowing that you could have tried even harder. You know what I'm saying, family? Like this, people, they shoot, kill, or steal to obtain something like this, not knowing that this is a possession, so you are possessed by fucking, those Amityville horror movies you be watching too much, and that's why, you was possessed to start taking shit, and we were all there. But I'm just saying, you don't ever get nowhere, waiting, plotting, or just trying to, locate things that are not yours. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to rape a bitch, or literally raping her, taking her divinity, man, when it's not something that you was brought here upon with, And to realize that's when you realize that, oh shit, okay, so everything I've been doing, I was in control. Not because of what they told me to do or what because I've been trained to do, but because I chose to partake in this activity or this situation. But then you realize, how is it that everybody else is winning and not me? Or how is it that, people are getting this, attraction, or they're involved in conversations that are helping others? You know what I'm saying, family? It's because they had that confidence in them, I'm pretty sure everybody has made a video and felt like, damn, when they watched it, they didn't want to put it out on the low or on the real, to be honest, because they had that voice in their head that was telling them, man, you ain't gonna be shit. But it's not like that motherfucker could come out and punch you in your face. So why be afraid? You know what I'm saying, family? That's why I say, family, you want to have, willpower, man. Like in my previous videos, you have to be strong. Yes, physically, but you want to be strong, spiritually, man, and tuned, because it's gonna get to a situation maybe one day in your life, family, where oh, my bad, family. It's gonna get to a point in your reality, family, where you're either gonna do it for you or you're not. But I'm here to tell you right now, family, that if I am doing it, there's no reason that you can't do it. Your face might not be as holy or pure as mine, as you see, because I put, grit, behind the scenes work into getting this shit, It didn't take one day to achieve this. And it shouldn't, family, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, family, you know what I'm saying? If you see me doing this, there's no reason that you can't do it either. For the people that actually want to win, for the people that have people counting on them, or if you don't have nobody and you're alone or a lone survivor like myself, man, do it for you, man. Do it for your ancestors, the ones that have came before you died, you know, in blood and everything. Because, like I said, y'all, they did it knowing what was gonna happen. You know, maybe a chance of them knowing that they were gonna get, you know, assassinated, or just, you know, they all, you know, had different deaths, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really want to talk about that because I don't like talking about negativity. It's realistic, but you want to still be somebody, family. For you though, because you are everything. You are nature, y'all. And nature's all around you. So if that's simply existing without asking to be here, what's stopping you from taking, you know, control of yourself, man? But either way, y'all, being underestimated is, you know, one of your powers, man. If you know how powerful that is, man. Because, like I said, y'all, you don't ever want to say much, man. Or let alone say anything unless spoken to. Or you feel like you just want to, you know, get it off your chest. Because being underestimated is the best thing in the world, y'all. Imagine the world ended tomorrow, y'all, by a tsunami and nobody knew. You know, we all have been underestimated. So if we ain't know about it, well, if it, you know, takes off and, you know, all these waves start, you know, blow every fucking city to shreds or smithereens, right? You won't really have no intel on it, especially if it was at nighttime. Now that it gets darker, because nature is uncontrollable. You are uncontrollable because you are a force of nature. And these simple examples are just, you know, simple illustrations for your mind, man, to see. Because, you know, I used to walk, family. Not saying that that's a bad thing. You know, I didn't give a fuck. I was happy walking because I knew the information that I had now. You know, that's why I never forced myself to be somebody. Like for anybody, or just, you know, trying to chase, man. You know, it's not that you chase, but you go after what you adore, you know. And if it don't fuck with you, or if it ain't for you, like they say, every rejection is protection, man. You know, for them or for you. But you don't ever want to, you know, discredit something. You want to love it from afar, knowing that it loves you back. Because if we're all reflections of each other, y'all, why are you gonna look at someone else and discredit them? You know, they might not see life like you, but they sure as hell are living like you, and they have the chance to be saved one day if that's something that they want to do. You know, not because you're telling them, but because they see self-elevation as premature, or something that they gotta initiate. You know. And only they could do that. But in this video, family, I'm just here to show you that this world is either gonna leave you in the frost, or you're gonna take this bitch to hell with you. But it's up to you, family. And that's why I'm just here to tell you that you gotta have self, you know, belief, man. Your belief is everything, man. You know, if I never believed that I would have anything, yo, I wouldn't even be in this car right now. You know, I wouldn't have nothing, you know. Even when I was walking, I knew I was gonna be something. But it's just when you're in school or you're surrounded by programmings, or by the programmers, y'all, you're forced to participate in things that you know, that you really can't say no to, because some things you just can't get yourself out of, man. So that's why that saying is, you know, every person has a day, or your time will come. But it's never gonna come if you ain't showing God that you want it bad enough. Like I said, family, you gotta work hard for something. You know, not saying that you gotta bleed blood, sweat, and broken bones, but you best believe be sweating your ass off, or knowing that even when you don't want to do it, you still get it done. Because I love doing this right here. You know, I can do this shit 24/8, make a video and drop that hoe every day, because not only am I helping my fellow peers, maybe you finance women that are watching this, anybody. But I'm helping the consciousness, your consciousness to be exact, because now if you are seeing and you know, constantly taking in data that you ain't heard before, it's gonna stick within your brain, and it's gonna make you feel like, what the fuck, you know, haven't I heard this before, you know? And that's what I'm saying, family, because we all have all been clouded or subdued, you know, by the world, man. It's like being in a swamp and you can't get out because there's nothing but grass and shit and all that debris above you, you know. But that's all I really wanted to put out in this video, man. You know, self-belief is all you need, man. You know, and that's with women too, man. Think about it. You think these women want weak niggas or weak man? No, they don't. They want someone who's gonna dog them out or you know, lead them, because like it or not, women follow by example. And that's why when we were all growing up, y'all, you were never, you know, if you were, you know, raised by your mama most of the time, you was taught to just go off with your mouth, man. And if you know that women like talking back and shit like that, man, let them have that. You know, you don't ever gotta prove your divinity to nobody, man, because your peace is all that matters as a man, you know. Because like I said, if you are peaceful, man, well, then being around you gives them that feeling, man, of what peace feels like. And they might like it or they might envy it because it's coming from you. And since they see that you are in perfection, it might, you know, not say cause them to envy you or jealous you, but it's gonna make them have a little bit of you know, self-hatred, man, or just you know, isolation to themselves, man, because they just won't fuck with how they don't have what you have. And it's not because they can't have it, it's just a lot of people ain't, you know, they ain't strong, man. And I'm not talking about these strong, anybody can throw these. I'm talking about the strength to hold back, you know what I'm saying? Because even if you do throw with these, you won't be able to go forever if you don't have hella energy in these bones. So that's why I say, family, be something or fall, you know what I'm saying, family? Well, yeah, family, in this life, yo, you only have yourself, family. And I'm gonna help y'all every chance I have, because this is what I came down here to do, you know. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't even be in this opportunity to even give y'all the video. So I'm happy that God chose me to give it to y'all, and only me, because ain't nobody dropping jewels like me, where your ass is damn near in the ocean with scuba gear, because how deep this shit can go, you know. And I can get hella deeper, but we not even there yet. All I'm right now is onto elevation, man, because that's what it starts with, y'all. If you're not elevating, well, then your reality is gonna be docile, you know. It's gonna be just, you know, not toxic, but it's gonna be stagnant, or it's just gonna be stuck. It's like being stuck in time, and you will never get free or free yourself if you don't want to free yourself. So that's why I say, family, you want to rise, or they gonna fucking look at you funny, you know what I'm saying, family? Rise for you, family, not for them, you know what I'm saying? And if you rise, well, you'll thank me later, y'all, because everybody will come to you for aidance, you know, assistance, or they gonna love you from afar, man, because they can learn something that will help them in this reality, man, you know. And it's not because you're charging them, no. You see you and them, so you only want to better them, man, you know. And that's what it all leads to, y'all. Because if we can all get back to that accordant, well then, negativity will eventually fade, man. And what did Naruto want to do, man? All he wanted was to create peace in the ninja world, man. He wanted to set the balance right, man, for the world, man. And you could look at me like, man, that shit is a game, it's a movie, or it's a show, but everything is presented with caution. So if you ain't cautious about what the fuck you're watching, well then you're a zombie right here, right now, man, because you're not even paying attention fully to what you are comprehending or trying to adapt to, man. And if these words are too deep for you, man, well, this channel ain't for you, man, because to rise, y'all, or to have energy is to have a flow vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? To where it flows out, you know? But yeah, family, we better rise, or the ones that do rise, you'll be learning from them. You know what I'm saying, family? So, you better rise, family, because I want to see y'all win. Y'all have to win out here, man. If y'all don't win, y'all will fall. And I don't want y'all to fall, man. You know, I failed many times. But this should be to help you, because we all have failed. But there's nothing wrong with being a failure, as long as you have the balls to own up to it and say, I'm no longer that, you know? I'm no longer a failure, because I achieved more than what these predecessors have, you know, seen in me or have thought I was to be, you know? And you want to be someone that has aura, you know? Like I said, y'all, Aizen, you know? I must stand at the top alone, because you become more powerful, you get more knowledge, awareness, and you become protected by divine, you know, intervention, man, because you wasn't brought upon this information for no reason, man. And if that's the case, you would have never even got this knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, family, you want to rise or be somebody, because you know, I'm pretty sure you don't want to clock in to a job for the rest of your life, man. Imagine working for somebody for the rest of your life, man. You will never get nowhere. You know, your girl at the house, man, doesn't want to have to see you go to work for 12 to 10 hours every fucking day, knowing that she cheating on your goofy ass, probably text somebody else. Not saying that that's true, no. But in this world, in this reality, and this, you know, apocalyptic, post-traumatic, I don't want to call it a cinematic universe, man, because the shit that you watch is literally what it is. Because the shit you watch is what programs you, man. So, if you ain't a strong soul. So, with that being said, y'all, for my people who are watching this, man, I hope y'all, you know, are taking these gems to the heart, man, and using that shit, because if you ain't, y'all, well, it's gonna cause you to feel regret, you know? Because if you have time to do something, y'all, you better do it now. And if you don't, you're never gonna forgive yourself, man, because pain is real. You know, trauma can scar us all, you know, but it's how we use it, you know? And the information I put out, y'all, to where I'm all this peaceful, yes, that's what it all comes down to, family. Because you want peace, but best believe you better know that you must be willing to die for that peace as well, man. If someone comes and tries to, you know, ponder that, man, because for someone just to come around, think that they can fuck over something that has been, you know, forced, they just won't get it, man, or they won't be able to get through, man, because they don't even know who you are, man. What they see in their reality is what they push onto others, man, because that's a projection, right? Well, if you are a mirror, y'all, you're gonna mirror that shit to their asses, man, and they gonna get away from you. Because if you are peaceful, man, and someone comes at you with bullshit, or they want to start shit with you, that doesn't mean that you put that peaceful on them. Simply you ignore their ass or walk away. And if they touch you, like I said, you'll kill them. Or, you, like I said, do what you want to do. That's up to you, y'all. But you kill them with kindness, or you stomp them down in physicality, man. But all I want you to know is, in this video, I hope you learned something, family. You know, for all my people that have watched this video, for the women that watch my videos, man. Appreciate y'all watching these videos too, because, you know, you will learn something, man. Maybe your pops or you know, your man's ain't really a deep scuba diver, man, but that's okay, because he could learn something too. You know, it's all about, you know, evolving your soul, man. And if you feel like you're too shallow for this kind of information, man, well, it's gonna be hard for you to live in this world, man. The more we start rising, man, because it's just gonna get a whole lot harder for individuals out here, man, who think they're struggling now. Shit, you think you're struggling now, but they're already talking about how the prices are rising, you know, the economy's and fluctuating, and you might not even know what these fucking words mean. But I'm just telling you that waiting on other people besides you getting shit done is a red flag, man. Not for women, not for you, but for your purpose, man. Because anyway, family, stay misunderstood. You don't have to stay in the shadows forever, but nobody got to know what y'all are doing, y'all, unless they want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to surround yourself with people who are gonna help you, man. Because you want to help people, man. You want to help them because you don't want them to feel like they are left out or they are lost. You want to help people because it only makes you feel a feeling that money can't give you, man. Because money could come and go, but helping a soul is forever, man. Because even when you leave this bitch and your soul transcends, you will never forget what happened. Because the Akashic Records that has stored every single information or data that you have done on this world, you can always go back and relive that shit within meditation or into the next reality that you might see when you get the fuck out of this one and you take us all with you, you know? Because when someone leaves, y'all, when it say I was to leave, y'all, I'm taking everybody that I once knew with me, because when I'm not here no more, I will no longer be of this world. I will be a memory, a ghost, or a haunting to people in this world, you know? But I will take y'all with me because I won't ever forget y'all, but my soul is, you know, it has not elevated, but it has, you know, flung or has sprung, you know, over the firmament and into another, you know, realm, you know, a better one that ain't slaved, you know. But anyway, family, I hope y'all learned something from this video, man, because I do this for y'all, family. You know, these videos, I don't do it for me. I help y'all, because if I can help y'all, well, then my day has been fulfilled, you know. If I help a soul, well, that's one person I saved, or one person that has woke the fuck up, you know. And guess what? If you wake up, well, then you change your life so you don't lack, and then you just might get everything you want. The women of your dreams, the cars, the fortune, fame, or materialism that you crave, it will be given to you like this. You know what I'm saying? But salute to y'all, man. Take it easy out here, because in this world, they say that you might not be here the next day you wake up, man. So that's why I say, man, always walk out with a positive frequency. You want to be living from your heart, and not from a Genshutsu that is delusional. But I'll see you on the next video, man.